Papa Rose,
Ask for the bank statement.
to see whether the gentlemen pay tithe
Yes.
fast food.
Ask.
Oh my God.
Yes. Ask them for the notes they have been writing for the years they have been in your church.
Yes, exactly.
Sorted with
No,
dates.
hey.
Yes.
With dates.
Yes, with
Yes,
dates.
yes.
And number three, whether they have the preaching anointing.
What's up everybody? Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. If you're new here, karibu sana. My name is Rozitta and this is the place where we embody truth. I'm coming to you live from Lepalanka, Lavington, and the weather here is a little bit chilly, but I'm pretty excited because I have amazing guests on the show today and I'm pretty sure you're going to like them. So in case you haven't subscribed, please be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Coming up. Introducing to you the judges. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy to meet you. We became friends with Joel on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's been how many years?
I
Many.
think it's quite some time.
I'm glad. Thank you to Mark Zuckerberg
Zuckerberg.
for Facebook.
Yeah, for Facebook. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And so on today's video, we are here so that you can share your love truth. I'm calling it a love truth because the Bible says that love is true. And I'm so glad that you came.
You're welcome.
Just introduce yourself when you mnataka kujisifia, kujichochea. Just introduce yourself.
Start?
I think you can.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
my name is Jonathan
Yeah.
Njoroge, and I'm born again. I love Christ as my personal Savior.
Yeah.
I'm just a simple guy who does simple
Why is
things.
she laughing? Why is she laughing?
Who does simple things? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, we do what we can to make sure that she lives a good life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I introduce my wife to introduce her name.
Okay, I'm Jewel
Yeah.
Njoroge. Yes. I am a grants assistant at the University of Maryland, but I'm also a wife to the one and only Jonathan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Karibuni sana.
Asante.
This
Asante.
is where we embody truth. Asanteni sana kwa kuja.
Right.
Your wedding was on the 8th of August.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're a new couple. You're so happy by the way.
Sisi.
Naenjoy
Yeah.
kuwasikiza sana.
Oh. Yes.
We made it a point to be happy.
So how did you
Okay.
guys meet?
I think it was on her own version, so we
Okay,
hear each
let's
person's
start with-
version.
Yes.
Let's hear
Jonathan.
yours first.
So I met Jewel in church, where we fellowship at Fountain.
Kwa hivyo
Church.
tuendelee
Yeah.
kwenda kanisa. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes. Tuendelee kwenda kanisa. Kama unataka msana wa kanisa.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But in Fountain Church, I was a campus boy then, so I was looking for a church to transit from GWCU.
Okay.
So I went there and I started fellowshipping there for some time.
Yeah.
Until now I met her in one of our live recordings. We usually have a live recording. We were having a live recording, music live recording every year.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in that year, which was 2014,
Okay.
our recording was in Brook House. So that's where I met her for the first time.
Okay.
So I just like the lady. I did not know whether she's who she was, which to be revealed later in the video. Yeah, but that's how I met her for the first time. We did not even talk much because we were busy playing music.
Yeah.
But then that's where I met her for the first time.
Okay.
She says that she met me before. She will explain.
Okay. Explain.
That's why I said everyone has their own version.
Okay.
So for me, I met him the first time I ever met him. I was just from campus. I just finished high school.
Yeah. High school.
Yeah, I just finished high school that
Okay.
month. So I went to church because we were having the live recording.
Uh-huh.
Because I was doing What was I doing?
Dance.
I was doing dance choreography for them. So I just
So
stepped
you
into.
dance?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just stepped into the church.
Yeah.
So I went to in our church area we have a multi-purpose hall.
Mm-hmm.
So he had sat there
Mhm.
with someone else, and
Yeah.
he was on his laptop.
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing a black suit with a white shirt and black shoes. I can't forget, and he had a Dell laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just working. The way he just worked. But for me, I think I saw him for some reason.
Mhm. Kitu
It's only that now I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So when I said to him,
Mhm.
he put me off.
Mm-hmm.
I was very devastated, by the way. But then I just said it to him, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I used to get frustrated
Mm-hmm.
because he was everywhere. He knows how to play all instruments, so it was bothering me. He just needs to sit on one. He doesn't need to go to the bass and leave the bass. I see him I'm like, just sit down.
Tulia.
Yeah, so that's how my version is.
Okay.
So I was frustrated. I had my own issues.
Mhm.
Then later on, he said that to me. Now, when we're in the live recording,
Mm-hmm.
now we had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it started from.
Mhm.
That was 20th December, 2014.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
you even remember the date?
Yeah, I do, because I think dates make sense to me. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonathan, when did you decide to pursue her now?
So on pursuing,
Mm-hmm.
I will take it in two ways.
Am I under pursuit? I should
No,
have
no,
asked.
no.
Oh,
By the time I met her,
yeah.
I had a girlfriend.
Okay. Okay.
J Quat.
Yeah.
I won't say her name. But I was in a relationship which had lasted for 2 years.
Mm.
But then, unfortunately, it was ending because we were not agreeing on matters faith.
Mhm.
Si kukosana kwa sababu ya
Mm.
tusikizani
Faith.
our faith.
Mm.
And when you can have a Catholic and a Pentecostal,
Yeah.
faith then was in
As
the
in
Yeah.
Kenya.
So such kind of issue.
Mm-hmm.
So that December, after we came out from the recording,
Yeah.
we went to Commission. Commission was this conference in Akwanga Focus, Kenya.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yes, Commission.
Mhm.
So it was in JQuat that year,
Yeah.
after Christmas.
That was which year?
2014.
2014
Yeah.
Bado.
Same year.
Same year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when we decided, together
Mhm.
with the lady, we
Mhm.
disagreed to disagree. We may like each other, we may have had a future,
Yeah.
but because our faith is different,
Mm.
we don't believe in simple doctrines, for example.
Yeah.
I believe in speaking in tongues.
Mm.
She does not.
Ah.
So those things to
Faith
honor
is key.
is key.
Yeah,
To
faith
me,
is
it was
key.
key.
It
Yeah.
is.
It
So
is.
I decided we disagreed to end the relationship
Yeah.
because that was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had just met her.
Mm-hmm.
So the person who we were chatting with, Sana,
Mhm.
being a female friend,
Yeah.
was Children.
Ah.
Now, I did not pursue her in a way at boyfriend, girlfriend,
Mhm.
just that we were talking too much.
Yeah, we talked
And
about-
she decided to open up to me,
Mm.
and nikakuwa ni a very close friend.
Yeah.
So on pursuing,
Mhm.
I don't know, we normally say we started this walk the 2015, 29th January.
Yeah.
Then
However,
you remember
I
dates,
don't remember-
our
yes.
dates.
That one he has to remember because I keep drilling in his
Yeah.
head. So
Ah.
that one he has to remember.
The reason I remember is because
Yeah.
every month
Uh-huh.
from that time,
Mhm.
we used to celebrate a monthly anniversary.
Yeah, we used to do
Ah.
that.
Wow.
So that's
Okay.
when she said that I don't remember myself telling her, now you're my girlfriend.
Ah.
No.
So
but
it was just a mutual
No, I think it was
agreement.
just-
Ilianza tu.
I think it was because it was our first official date.
yes.
Okay.
In
So
quote
tukaanza
quotes.
kutembelea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then when I told her
Mhm.
that I'm pursuing her specifically to get married to her,
Mhm.
was in 2017.
Yeah, 2017.
That's when I did that. 2 years after that.
2 years after
Yeah.
that.
So I know that we'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
But that's when I started pursuing her seriously. Ile ukweli.
Mm.
Hiyo ingine ilikuwa
Ile
ya-
ingine ni
Kwa mchezo.
kujaribisha.
Yeah.
Baba. Yes.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed the two of you are PKs. Did that ever influence your decision to choose one another?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
from a young age, I
Yeah.
really prayed
Mhm.
that I would get a pastor's child.
Really?
For me, I think it's because I wanted someone to understand where I come from.
Ah, yes, I get you.
It was okay, it's not a key thing.
Mhm.
If he wasn't, it would still be fine.
Yeah.
I think for me, the fact that he was one,
It
now
was
that,
a tick.
that was a tick
This
for
was
me.
God.
Yes, I really prayed for that when I was younger because
Ah.
I think being pastor's children is quite a task.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for me, when I heard that,
You needed somebody who
I
understands.
I had to run with it. But then it was not a, you know, those lists we normally have. It was not. It was at the
Chini.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I had a list which I need a row eventually. Because if I look
Utatuambia
at
kwa
the
nini.
list, it's not compared. It's much better, yeah.
Yeah,
But then
well.
it was an added advantage that
Okay.
it was a PK. But for him, he says
No, me, I don't care.
differently. Yeah.
One, because me being a PK did not matter, because no one knew me in Nairobi. We got to Nyeri.
Ah.
So my dad is a bishop of Pefa in Nyeri.
In Nyeri.
However, when I came to Nairobi, you know, kitu sikuwa nataka watu wajue.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I went I went to Fountain Gate, not even a Pefa church where people would know my
Would
dad.
know you.
Yeah.
So dad did not care. So the list of my list was
Pastor's child.
No, sikuwa nategemea. In fact, when we were relating, I thought that I am na stretch mali siwezi jifikia. Yeye ni mtoto wa pasi. Tunaweza.
I think I'm starting to understand what you're trying to say, because in my church I get that sijui kama ni comments ama nini kwamba hiyo ni mtu aposto. Wewe acha tu, you know.
The untouchable, the apostle.
So hata ulikuwa na feel hivyo.
Nilikuwa na feel, yes, she likes me, she says she loves me, na mimi na feel the same way. But when it comes to things serious, I don't think I'll be the candidate.
Yeah.
Even if even a thought came to my mind, even if I went to the dad, there are more people who are
You thought they
Yeah, better suited,
people
yeah.
who preach my age, people who preach, people who lead services. You see, maybe
Minister.
I'm just a drama.
Minister so and so.
Yeah, I'm just a drama in church, so I'm just nobody. So mambo ya PK hapo nilikuwa nimerusha mbali sana.
Okay.
The other thing is that I really did not like most part of me being a pastor's child.
Yeah.
It was not a good experience because I thought pastor's children wanakuwa na hii lazima become born again, juu bako ni born again.
So kama pastor eventually.
Kama watu
pastor.
So sikuwa nataka hizo stuff, but then that would not, if I get a pastor kid or not, no, but it was not one of the considerations that nilikuwa natafuta.
Okay.
But there's a different perspectives. For me, that one was a tick for me. The fact that, but surprisingly, even to me, he didn't mention that at the word go. We had to walk for some miles for him to tell me that.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't just mention, by the way, not Jonathan, Babangu ni bishop, sir. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He had to tell me way later.
Kwa hivyo ilikuwa chini ya maji.
Mimi ilikuwa chini ya maji. Nobody even knew.
They knew when I get married.
Even most of the people in our church knew who really I was when we started going for bridal negotiations.
Yeah, that's when they knew.
They knew, but Baba John ni mkubwa hivyo. So that's when they started knowing that.
Okay.
But the rest wanadhani ni kajamaa kana struggle, because I really struggled.
Yeah, he was a normal human being, like, you know. I know most people in church want the best for them.
Exactly.
You know, their pastor's kid, they want them to get a man driving, a V8, you know.
Preacher mkubwa sana.
Minister so and so. So yeah.
Mentariwa na pasi.
Mimi
mentor wangu hataja voka. A business mentor.
Okay.
I preach to him.
I preach to him.
Yes.
So he preaches to you.
Wow, that's interesting. So Joel, tuambie, ilifikaje ukamua that it must be him, this is the one?
I think for me, I did not hear a loud voice. People say, he
the
spoke
Lord
in my
spoke.
No. But then, no, it was not like someone's case. No. I think for me, we had gone through so much
together.
For those. You see, he said 2017 is when it was serious. I mean, in terms of pursuing, that's when it was leading to marriage. That means from 2015 all the way to 2017, those are 2 years.
Yeah.
We had gone through so much in those years together.
As friends.
Yeah, and it was just too bad. I think we were at the verge of giving up. The both of us had said that they
giving up on?
On us.
Okay.
It was just too much, yeah? So I think the only thing that kept me going was the fact that, and the reason why I chose him and I thought he was the one, and I still think he is even now, and I believe he's the one, is that I had so much peace. My heart had just settled.
Wow.
Whether we had today we have been fought on this, tomorrow we have been fought on this, there was peace in my heart.
At the end of the day, there's peace.
That is the thing that's for me is what made sense.
Wow.
I did not hear from God directly.
You did not
There are
dream.
people who do. There are people who dream, there are people who hear directly from God. But for me it was just pure peace. I knew this was what God wanted for me.
This peace can only be from God.
Yes, I think that's because we had our own share of challenges.
Okay.
I think that was why, and that still is the reason why. Because even to date, I'm at peace. I'm adding weight. Yeah, that means I have no pressure, no stress. Yeah,
I can tell you're so happy.
I'm very happy. Furaha.
Now, Jonathan, how did you decide she must be the one?
Oh, first of all, let me explain something briefly, if you understand.
Okay.
When she says there was so much in those
Challenges.
2 years, you see people have the ideal man for children, who's in the pastor's children. So the battles were not from without or from us, were from what were church. People try to separate you, people spreading propaganda, hizo vitu zote yani za kuabit. And you see the one mwenye anaumia ni mimi, juu mimi sina mtu wa kurantu. I'm just alone. Apart from my friends, my friend who we came with from Nyeri and came to the church. So the rest of the people did mavita from her, some of her family members, her close friends, my close friends wengine waka shift. Wanaona
wakahama team ikabadilika.
Sisi tumekuwa huko miaka hii yote, wewe ndio utakuja kupata wangari. So a lot of things, and it was really tough to a point where I took a sabbatical from church. And nikatoka nikaacha kuminister because it was such so much. So what really made me pursue niendelee na story, it's because I thought 2 years, close to 3 years, this story tumengangana, I can't drop sahi.
Wow.
Yani the work that has happened within me and within Jiwe, nitaipoteza tu hivyo. Because those 3 years really meant a lot to us because we really got mature.
Yeah, we did.
We really matured. Tukaacha ulabidabi wa boyfriend, girlfriend. Sasa kuona ni sawa. So where are we going with this? Asking ourselves those
being
questions.
Intentional.
Yes, being intentional and deliberate. So that's where now I decided, hey, I think if she has stuck with me for
throughout.
Hajaniruka. So that's when I decided I want to continue this. That was not about marriage, by the way. That was about now telling her now we want us to have a serious relationship. In marriage, it was a marriage between what I wanted in my life and getting the right woman. Because I wanted to get married at 27. When I was 27 years old. But yet I have seen a lady who is ametik vitu zangu zote, simi siko na list. But when I look at her character, her everything, she's a person who I can make my wife. So I decided, okay, nikicalculate nyuma, 2018 ndio niliona, by 2020 itakuwa nimeoa. So then I started having that conversation. Remember she's at school.
Yeah, I was in campus.
Because the time anaingia first year, ninamaliza campus. Tumeshana miaka 4. So you see I had to wait for her. Maliza campus, mimi nikifanya biashara zangu za kupiga picha. So that's when I saw a lot of growth in her. And so when I was waiting for her, naona hapa. Of course there were so many ladies you could get married to who are your age. Now still more gorgeous. But I thought,
actually there's a question I asked him, I don't know if he remembers, but I think it was one of the questions we had in church. I asked him, I'm joining campus. Will you wait till I finish? Because I can't get married before I finish campus. I must have that thing for the graduation thing. Power. Power
to read.
So I asked him, will you wait? He said yes. Nilikuwa namuona ngoja tu niona niambie sasa naishia hapo katikati. Nilikuwa namwona kitambo kitambo, but then we waited till I finished campus. I had to graduate. Then we got married a year later.
Okay.
A year 6 months. 2 months later. Yeah, because I graduated last year June.
So to me it was the I wanted to achieve that at this particular date. I had even told God.
Oh yeah, the dates too.
Yani hadi ilikuwa umeomba.
I'm
so challenged by that.
Hadi dates, by the way. The date was not negotiable. I did not negotiate on our wedding.
There are two things that I told Jewel that I want to give her the option to choose. The date of our wedding and the best couple, because God had already shown.
No, I didn't debate. I just said fine, let's run with it. And so happened that the same date that he has happens to be the same date our parents got married also. It happens to be a unique date because it's 8/8/20.
Yeah.
So I think for me nilikimbia tu na
kasema this is it.
Nothing much, nothing big.
That's amazing. I've not heard of somebody who pangad the date and the year before kupata mtu.
It was
Your faith ama ni nini?
But to me, let me say it's not faith. It's you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, yani you najua. It's like the way you would. You know, everybody has a way God speaks to him or her.
Yeah.
So personally, I had this conversation with God. I think I had been, because I have not been a Christian for long. I think that was my 8th year.
Okay.
But because of being in CU campus, na the radicalness we had been taught how to listen to God and how to pray to God and ask God for things. So that was my desire. My desire was that I want to get married at this particular time. So when I was in vitu zangu tu, by the way, I don't really pray much ati naenda Katoloni 3 days.
But no, God looks at
I'm not a fan of going for prayer of certain. I'm not really. But the little I pray, God really answers me. So I remember I just got that date. It was to 8/8.
Wow.
And I remember when I went to see the dad asked me, so when is the date? And nikamwambia, nikasema kama Jiro atakataa,
You know, he met my dad before I told my dad.
For real?
Yes.
How?
Okay. So, but he did, yeah.
Okay, you've mentioned challenges that you went through, and you've mentioned why you pressed on, hadi mkaamua.
Yeah.
Among all the challenges mli go through, ni gani mliona God ame come through kabisa?
That's a hard one, but let's see which one specifically. I think his zote tu will come through.
Zote.
I don't think I can pinpoint any.
Me, the one that I think God really came through, the acceptance.
Wow.
People accepting our relationship.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the first thing, that's even the reason why it was being fought. Because they thought this was the wrong match. There is something to match. So, it was the wrong match.
Yeah.
And then people accepting. And it was so amazing that, first of all, their sisters started accepting it. For me and my parents and my family, I am a man. I'm the only boy in our family and I'm the firstborn. So whatever I go home and say,
it has some weight.
And
I
go home to inform,
not to ask for suggestions.
So there is no, but for her, kuna ile lazima kwanza kuwe na discussion.
Committee.
Unfortunately, her sisters just loved me. Watu wenye walikuwa wanakaa kama wako na ish, they just got along, wakaona anyway. Hivyo. The most amazing miracle to me. You know, I know you are a pastor's kid. And you know in your church there are those people when you anaweza kusomea kitabu yako. Rose niliota na wewe jana. Now it seems that you have an affair with a certain boy. So
people like this. Yeah, you know that people like that.
The mom is like that.
Wow.
You watu wenye wanataka kusoma.
Yeah.
So when she went told the mom, and the mom said, Jonathan, he's a good boy. So what you do, just have your relationship in the light.
In the light, yeah.
Wow. When her mom said yes.
Nikabili
watu wote wenye mnadhani
doesn't matter.
Ndio kenye mnaleta. Naleta na ipelekea mama. Mama ni bounce. So I think that's the biggest battle that niliona imetolewa off our shoulders. That people who really mattered to us. Mzazi unajua akikataa. So people who really mattered to us, yani walikubali tu. And when that happened, I nikafeel ni kama juu, she's the mother and she's my pastor also. So when she said yes, as if she covered me. So zile mishauri nilikuwa narushiwa
ziende kwa
kuisha.
That is the greatest miracle to me.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Acceptance.
Maybe nimerejectiwa na kudespisiwa.
That is
so that happening,
it was amazing.
It was
that place you had to build. I had to build that because
sounds like your relationship began very tough.
Yes. It began very tough because it was not anybody's fault. It was our own fault. One, because we started a relationship in the wrong foundation.
True.
We just saw each other, tukaona iweze. However, there are principles in a relationship that now I would tell someone that when you find that you and a guy, I'm a guy and a lady, you want to start something, submit it to someone who can cover you and help you as you go.
Waambie yote wasikie vizuri kwa
This one or that one? That one. So the point is simple. When you want to start a relationship and you think this is the person you want to run the relationship with, submit it to a person who has ever been where you are, either married or either your pastor, who can help you walk the walk. Atakusaidia sana kuvuka so many handles and utategwa. The advice is usifanye hivi, usifanye hivi. Like one of the mistakes we did is that we announced our relationship too early before it was even mature. So these battles zenye tunachapwa ni vitu zenye, imagine mtu kuja kusema some few nonsense words zenye za uongo natoka ministry yele nikakaya nje. You see, that was immature. So those are the things. So what we could have done and what everybody can do, and it's just a suggestion of opinion, is that submit it to someone, whether a pastor or a couple you really look up to, and tell them, by the way, there is this guy whom I'm seeing, hata wamuone. Some of these people even see ahead. Wanaona uchali huyu
atakucheza.
Usiposikia ni sawa, lakini time at utaona. So that's what happened. So the battles we had that came to us was because we did not have people who were covering us and advising us. So we did very stupid mistakes. Very stupid.
Extremely stupid. That's one thing I always say. I think I would back him up. I think for me, I always say you need to get accountable to 3 people. Accountable to God. That's the number one. That means always be in prayer with this person. Have time to even fast. I think the thing that kept us moving as much as we loved each other was that we used to pray a lot. The beginning of our relationship. Like our first year, we went to Arboretum and prayed for each other. And it was intentional, and we did, and we had a few things God gave us that our relationship has to run through. That is first. Be accountable to God. Get time to pray. Get time to fast together. Sometimes together, and sometimes you can have a group of people, maybe you walk in the same direction or something. I've had people who say they decided, like the way you and I are friends, we're in the same age groups right now. So we decided anyway, we need to we pray to God that we'll get husbands by this age. And they met, and all of them right now, they're in one group of marriage. People, if you can work with people who are in the same direction with you, I think in terms of prayer, you can't go wrong, because they are holding you accountable. The second people you need to be accountable to is people who are walking the same journey. Like for us, we are a couple of 3, where everything we did, none of us didn't know. So if we were going for our introduction or any those bridal things, we had to tell the others. So they had to pray with us, they walked with us the entire journey. Mistakes we did, they couldn't do. They went ahead of us, the mistakes they did, we could not do. So we advised each other all the way through. So you see, you can have 3, you can have 5, you can have 2, you can have 1, depending on what you agree. Then the third person is an accountable couple. And for me, it doesn't mean you need to have a couple who's 30 years in marriage, situation 50 years. They can help you. You can have all those levels. But even someone who has 3 months, we have a few nuggets you can give.
Exactly.
Because we also quoted and had a relationship together. So those are 3 people, I think, whenever you start a relationship, that is, relationship, see it in your father, mother, you understand? Relationship leading to marriage. For some reason, people normally see. Watasema hawa, hapa kuwezi enda vile mna decide. Hapa, there are many couples who are in this, we started with one year, but I think we're the ones who remained in that group. But Sisi, as much as we did not go to a person. When we went to the right people now, when we were focusing towards marriage, all of them were up for us. None, not even one ever told us we need to break up. Not even one. But then that's when we realized we made a mistake. So when it was in the limelight at that time, we were hit, yes, as he said. When we went down, my friend, no one ever thought we would ever get married. Both thought that we had broken up.
When we went to start telling people that we are going to get married, they were saying,
But then that's what we realized, that's a mistake, and now we had to look for people to walk us through the journey. Now that's when we went down. So when we met our best couple, we walked with them for, I think, was it 1 year? 1.5 years.
Really?
It was even more than 1.5 years. Yeah.
So even something Gio does not know that before even I planned to now start the journey process, mtu church, a married man, namwambia hey, by the way, nafikiria kuwa, anakuuliza unataka kuwa nani? Yule dem, yule Longari. Hapo sawa. Now I learned that when you do that, you see a person, you know something about people who are in authority, they are also called seers. They overseers, they see. So they see things you cannot see. And it's not even about age. You see, there is this Kikuyu saying that
small boy.
An old man seated on a njongo sees further than a person, a boy on a tree. It's not that. It's not even about age. But a person who is above you sees better and more clearer. So they tell you. There are people who go and say, by the way,
it's true. So
that is something that I did. Now with the new knowledge and experience I had to make sure that I'm doing the right thing each and every time. So then I started working with our best man. Even before I told him that I'm planning to get married. So nikaona nanisoma kama hizo. So by the time even I'm going to tell him we want you to become a best couple, he had a walk.
He had a walk.
Na ananiambia wewe yo venye unafanya utachomeka. Unajua in our church people do not hawakuwekangi. Wanakomea venye.
Na fekuweka.
Sasa uko na ujinga.
Hapo tamwaga as in it's reality as it comes.
Also when I learned that, I changed. One day, let me give you a story. One day I got called by our resident pastor in our church, and then he akanikalisha chini. Akaniambia, Jonathan, you see, there are 3 people you're supposed to work with. Number 1, people who are age mates. Not to compete, but to compare notes. This is what you're doing. The second kind of people above you. Watu wenye wako juu wao sasa ndio. And it's not just anybody above you. Because you see, you may be older than me. But then we can relating mzao. Unaniambia kikwambia weishia wewe. A person who he does not have anything to gain from you. Anaweza kuambia kitu. Anaweza kuambia kikitu, kasirika usikasirike. Kwenda mahali unaenda. That kind of a person. A person who you fear. And that person, fear, and that person will do chini yako because whatever God gives you,
you need to give it.
You see for free,
you give it.
Chini yako. You know that even a child can come and tell you something because God has used the child.
That's true.
So huku chini katikati na hapa juu. Na akaniambia, Jonathan, kuna venye naona kampani yako ni ya vijana. Unaona? Hauna chini na una juu. So enda wangalia hiyo kitu. Then in the same season we were, because we do a lot of ministry, we were driving together with his dad. One day tukakuwa tuko kwa gari moja tumetoka mission. I was living in Kiambu and they live in Kiambu. So alikuwa anatuweka place anaingia home situ na and he told me, Jonathan, just from the blues. And you see, maybe when a pastor says something from the blues, taking in the spirit. So he said, Jonathan, do you know anything? Do you know something called the Pareto rule? Pareto principle. And I told him no. Do you know 80-20? So we carry 80-20. Yes, I know the 80-20 principle. And 80% of your life is made up of the 20% of the people you relate with.
Wow.
So,
really?
yeah, look at the people you are relating with, because the 20%, the people who are very close to you, and your wadogo, how do you want to inform your life, and the 80% of who you are. Let's do the comparison. So you see, those are the pastor, and now our senior elder, the same thing,
different words.
From that time, do you know who are my best friends right now? Pastors.
Wow.
I have more friends who are pastors and who are elderly than I have people who are of my age.
Wow.
So even in this process ya kuoa, nilikuwa napata most of the discussions na have na our pastors.
That's
wow.
So naenda mwambie Jonathan ananiambia ifanye hivi, ifanye hivi. I had a very smooth time, by the way.
I can imagine.
Very smooth time.
Guys, we are having an amazing time. I hope you are enjoying this conversation. If you are, let me know in the comment section below. And peradventure you have questions that you've gotten along the discussion we have just had, comment down below, and I'm pretty sure they are going to get back to you. And let's continue. You are sharing with me a story about the 80-20%.
Yes. So when I was saying,
what were you saying?
So and when now my senior pastor and the resident pastor talked to me about changing my company, I had to change. And now my company became Mapasi, my elders.
Na ulianzaje? Like una approach pastor unamwambia let's
I'm a
be
very
friends.
sociable person.
Okay.
I come to nikuje kama as soon as niko na psych, I will know everybody in there.
Okay.
So now I just go and just have a conversation. I just took a conversation from everybody so that's why I started a conversation. And I'm also a very likable person. So tukianza conversation, ikifika place ninaona unafika in a level where I can tell you about my relationship, then I can. So I saw people who I really admire and approached them and started telling them. So wananiambia. So every Sunday in our church, after every service, there's something called that service. That service is a place where watu wana meet in your compound and interact. It has a bishop, by the way, on the service.
Really?
Yeah, and there are kuna manjugu zinauzwa, mayoga, so kama hizo. So people really discuss a lot of things. So that's where I used to do most of those things.
Okay.
So when naweza pata kwa ofisi naenda nawaona, na mimi tosha nipitia hapa tu kwa huyu pasi nikamuone. So naenda namuona na hivi na hivi. So that's how I came to change my company. Now when that happened, I realized now I came to a place where I'm the one giving advice to my fellow colleagues. Some of them were pursuing girls, others were at the time not having girlfriends. So naanza kuwapea. Why? Because huku napata nuggets of wisdom. When we come here, there is the same issues I have others also. So that's how it happened. So when I started sharing them with things like about G, they are the ones who told me, hapo iko sawa.
Hapo umechagua vizuri.
So I got confidence, I got a lot of peace in me. Sasa watu wenye they really matter. So then I started asking them, what should I do? Nikipata tu kashuku kidogo, what should I do? What should I do? There are the same people who helped me to gain confidence. Akaona kwa baba yake.
Ku approach bishop.
Wacha mwambie bishop ni mulini. Apostle. According to the fivefold ministry, apostle is the chief of them. So apostle sasa ukisikia unaenda kuona apostle.
Wende na fivefold anointing.
Kola kwambie brother, now to see whether you are capable of getting my daughter, you have to preach the crusade. But anyway, they really have to do this in the party. But it is an idea sana.
Please don't put it. Asa baba yangu ni apostle. Please.
Unampea ideas, karibia watu.
Let me give your dad an example. First of all, Baba Rose.
Ask for the bank.
Ask for the bank
statement.
Baba Rose.
Ask for the bank statement.
To see whether the gentlemen pay tight fast food.
Ask.
Oh my God.
Yes. Ask them for the notes they have been writing for the years they have been in your church.
Yes, exactly.
With
Okay.
Yes.
With dates.
Yes. And number three, whether they have the preaching anointing. Because they are going to take over your church. How are you to preach?
Oh my God. Mmeharibu kabisa. Wenye walikuwa najipea nguvu wamesha nguvu imeisha.
Trouble down. Hey. But I think it takes courage for someone to approach a pastor's child. Hey.
But I think it's a good thing. Mwenye ako courageous enough to approach, you ni mtu ako serious. That's a good thing for us.
Yeah, it is.
Woli, who worked with you?
I had my we how do I say this? Because we were relating, but we had put it under the water. We really didn't get someone together. So kila mtu alitembea na watu wake. Yeye alitembea na mapastors, mimi nilitembea na watu wangu. I really didn't get to work with pastors like him. For me, I don't know. I think the people who it was easier talking to were okay, either way, they were not necessarily pastors, but they were elders' wives. But then there's one lady, wherever she is, she might know she's the one, but she really helped me. In fact, there's a time I went and told her, imagine, hii kitu itaishi hapa. Imepigwa every corner, left, right, center, forward, behind. I just wanted to end. She only told me one thing. She told me, Jiva, anything not fought is not of God. So I had to run that thing, my friend ilikimbiza nayo. So now later on we went together to meet them. Way later. But then I had I think three or two ladies. Yeah.
Okay.
That I had worked with. But I think the fact that I told my mom really gave me confidence. I ran that thing.
How did you approach your mom?
She was taking me to school. And I just told my mom.
Mtu kwa gari ukaambia by the way kuna kajamaa.
I'm just seeing this guy. Oh, okay. He's a good person.
Just like that.
Just don't date in private places. Date in the public and look for people to work with. That's all she said.
Wow.
My mom. For me, my mom saying that.
Ulisikia this is the right choice.
Imagine I left that car immediately. I called him. I told him, let me tell you. My mom said I was very excited because my mom is those people, as he said. You want to your end from the beginning. No, when you're talking about it.
Akuangalia hivi anaona 8 years from now.
Hapa utaanguka
kwa kwambiangi ati now. See, there is this thing I am seeing. Atakwambia legal relationship.
Yeah.
That's
Then afterwards, you come to
understand why she said that.
And I think it's a thing parents have. Yeah, they can tell about relationships with their kids' relationships.
Because my mom told me to leave them. I was angry.
Unakasirika.
I wish I listened to her that time. Because either they not even male, no. Even female friends. I mean, I know wengi bele hapo you're stepping on the wrong. And you know, for me, my friend, at the time I actually shouted at my mom in public
because of
a friend. And then I'm thinking, later I was like, wow, I wish I listened to this woman. That time she didn't look like she was saying anything because she's my friend, we were close, blah blah blah. But then so for me, that and those two ladies really helped me a lot. But then when we were also hit all that time, I think I decided to just close it up. Okay. If I had any issue, I just ran to him. Because everyone was against the two of us. No, as in very few people wanted us to run the relationship. People already had a certain husband for you. Even best couple we had to fight about. We have had our own share.
So that's an expectation that had been put on you as a pastor's kid. Ungekuwa mtoto wa kichako.
Who would have cared? Ningeenda kamwiste na hiyo story na nimalizane. No one would have cared. And the fact that I am that, which I don't blame them. I don't. It's like now, if you find Kenyatta's fan somewhere. And maybe him is just taking a stroll the way he does, and that is his way. If you see him here, maybe he likes the food here, and he just comes and like, what is he doing? He needs to be in Kempinski, and because all have expectations. So I don't blame them, but I wish they can lower them. Or if they do, they keep them to themselves. They don't tell us. No. But then it was, I had one people we worked with. They gave me, they pushed me through. I think that's why we are here. Otherwise, we would not be here right now.
True. You know, I didn't know you were even dating. I didn't know you were courting. I didn't. It was not on Facebook. So around July, hapa ilikuwa nikaona poster. Niko okay. She was dating. Caught up.
Man.
How did you manage to keep your relationship out of social media?
Personally, I told her don't post me. In fact, I was telling her don't even post me on stories.
What?
Yes.
Na venye wengine wetu selfie.
I used to be like that. So we had a really big argument about it. So from then I decided I just had
so if it was we decided to chini. So we were most of the times kitambo we used to meet in church. There was kuna many rooms. Tukaamua hapana kama tuna meet place na town ndani. So me and my friend called Jackson, who is my kumtaja because he's my almost my best friend.
Jackson who?
Jackson Kareo.
Oh, I thought it's a Jackson, you know.
Okay. So he kuna time tuliamua ni kutafuta tu mashimo na joints. So akipata joint
za muturama za nini?
Zimejificha mahali kwenye jua hapo ndani.
Ukiamua ni ukiona place yenye inajificha watu mtu hajui. Ni place unapata mko ni hoteli but walking ni like in 1 hour there are only 2 walkings. So we come place so we used to go in those two places. Nikipata joint nyingine namwambia bro nimepata place nyingine. Place you cannot find it.
You can't find it.
Hamwezi patana hapo. Ikwe kanisa.
That's how we used to do it.
Okay.
So and I told her if we are deliberate about making it to
wow.
And you see, it will help you that now when we come to the part of marriage, you realize that even sahi kwa marriage, you need to put your marriage in your marriage until something started to manifest. For example, you cannot go shouting, hey, sijui nini, tulipewa sijui nini kwa harusi, tukona nini kwa harusi, you cannot, lazima mtulaze chini ya maji. Until a point when you come, when you need, something needs to be stated and how you stay safe. So mpaka sahi vitu ni chini ya maji. Rarely you will find us posting pictures of us together, hey guys, we're Indianis,
marriage is beautiful.
We don't do that. Why? Because you expose yourselves to battles that you cannot handle right now.
You make yourself young. You're still so young in marriage.
So,
wow.
The only pictures we post, pictures za harusi. Kila mtu anajua.
It'll happen.
Kama kwa shida ya harusi, ya sheria harusi. But then that I told her, don't post pictures.
Do you think it'll say their relationship, you know?
Yes.
A big deal.
What?
Those 3 years of my life, after we started to wear senior man,
it was very good. You did, by the way. You did help our relationship.
I know most couples nowadays wanapenda kuweka their relationships out there from the beginning. What are some of the things mnafikiria these couples expose themselves to, especially on social media?
Let me first of all say relationships are different. The things that we pass through may not be the same things that another couple will pass through. They may post and not have any problems
that's true.
at all. However, if you know that you will have trouble exposing things outside, you would rather not until a particular time. But I will not tell people not to post their things outside. But then if you are like us who have a problem of people knowing our affairs too much, then don't post. But for us, the deal was that people know him, walikuwa too much noise.
Yeah, because we have too many stakeholders. The church, the pastors of my dad's friend who's from Australia, and they may not have negatives.
Negative truth. When you come to the point where you are dating and wants to kupeleka vitu nje, or if you are dating wants to kupeleka vitu nje, you will have the same problem that you had.
True. Because you have many stakeholders.
Apostle and pastor.
You are a pastor's kid. People really care about pastors' businesses and your business. I don't know why.
I'm part of that business.
You're part of the business.
I don't know why these leaders.
I
don't know why these people are church leaders. They are people who read the Bible, and they have never come across the scripture that says, "Mind your own." I don't know where that scripture.
First Thessalonians 4:11. She keeps her own business.
I don't know why they don't read that scripture. I'm on it, but they really mind about the pastor's business and their children's business.
It's
so
true.
you will have the same struggle that you are. But a person
maybe they're not the exact same,
but you may have a lot of people wanting
negative attention.
Yes. But so for other people it may not be the same. But then study your own relationship. See you want hapa si kufanya hivi.
But I think you can expose when your foundation
is strong. Okay. Yeah.
Because let me tell you. Kama nyinyi wawili mjengiana point yenye unaweza bishaniana. I mean yani fighting for each other. Imagine don't. If you're not sure that you can fight for that man, just leave it. Because let me tell you, people will come with all sorts of things. I was asked, of all people in the world, the whole entire 4 million in Kenya, you only saw a photographer.
What?
Click on me, as in clicking cameras on me.
What?
That's the only person you saw. Not even who he is as a person. No,
what he does.
His career.
Mimi nilijua Jonathan is struggling.
He's struggling.
Jonathan is struggling. Imefika place that Jewel every month anafanya mama yake 200,000 shillings ya kuja kunipea pesa niweze kusafiri. Unaona? But I am so poor that already I have announced that I'm going to inherit my mom's Mercedes and their house. And the propaganda inatembea.
Imekamilika.
So even I was wondering, and those are the things that made me niachane na minister, because na feel roho yangu kuude. So, but then afterwards I came to ask myself, Dr. Lucy, the mom, if every day the account in a debit was 200k,
mamangu ni wale watu wande coin ya 1 bob anajua ni iko kwa bag. Uchukue 1 bob, unasema chukua 1 bob yangu 1 bob 1 shilling.
Na 200k. So nilikuwa nataka kusema kweli mama nyingine walisema mpaka Apostle James now done that we have noticed that Apostle James akona stress. Pressure kwa nini? He is not financially stable because mnatumia pesa mingi sana. Oh my God. And I don't know whether he has ever heard the story.
I don't think he has.
Okay.
This doesn't happen. And so, if we were not strong enough, and we were not strong enough then, so if you place back and here, when you didn't sell them, we said to stick for some that will be stick, just a little. Umesema tuachane wewe acha tuone. So now that, but afterwards, even sahi when we are coming to Kioa, tukipanga wewe tumekuwa na mkutano, lakini tumesaidika sana juu ya kusema mimi na wangalie hatufanyi kenye mnataka. So now what she is saying is, if you know that you are strong enough ya kusimama pamoja na msapotiane, hata mtu pia kwambia wagari nimemwona huko nje, namwambia gari amevaa alikuwa amevaa kaskati kanafika hapa stage yetu, nikamwambia kwanza wacha nikwambie gari ya bangi wangari ya bangi vitu short hapo anasuka aje breeze zingine za papo wangari kana nachorohia so wacha kulomba yani you can fight for her and you see one of the best ways I know I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the best ways to kuficha hizo battles is kufunga masikio.
Not to listen
Close your ears.
Absolutely.
Do not hear. Because if you ukisikia utasikia vitu na zitakuchafua. As much as you will believe that she cannot do that, the fact that
they'll affect you somehow.
So ni ufunge tu. So mtu vile mimi ndio na guess what nini kuhusu na jiwe,
acha tu
atakuja kuniambia
lenga.
Ama unamwambia mwenyewe, si ndio unaongelelea, ndio muongelesha mwenyewe.
Wow.
Don't listen to slander. And one thing I keep saying is always and forever support your spouse. I'm telling you that no one will ever fight for them like the way you do. Shike mkono
mbali sana kwa spouse. Kwa relationship.
Okay.
Because
hapo ndio inaanza.
You are the one who is going to show respect to your fiancé when you go to your dad. So ukienda kwa babako venye unabeba your fiancé, hivyo ndio watabeba. Mimi nikienda home, ni venye nita-represent jiwe, ndio watabeba home. So support does not start on the
Yeah, it does.
Msupport yako yote. Kama sahihi ukiona, unajua sasa siku hizi maapostoli watabeba. Ukienda home upate fiancé yako, kuna venye mnaenda home, kwenda kutembea, na yeye hakupoa vile. Na kiatu yake ni mbaya.
Ile shop ndio kiatu. Hey my friend, wacha waone he's the best person.
Kila hivyo ni most of the things that I have really received. The most expensive marashi the first time and the way to me. Yeye ni Maia. Unajipaka marashi,
unatufunza mengi.
Marashi. Leo ile aje yakwambia jina yote. YSL Bondua. Nilikwambia hivyo, nikwambia pesa ngapi? Si pesa mingi, ni 12. Lakini ni pesa mingi. So unakuwa ni you are I build her.
Najengana.
So you represent kule
ndio atabebwa.
Yes. If you are going to home and you see there is a principle of honor and you need to go and take some money or some shopping money and you know kabisa hii mimi Rose uchali yangu hako fiti mazi yako na 5 na mfano vile nilikuongezea 5 haimaanishi ati tunajilipia hizo vitu zote ni cultural and demonic.
True.
However, make sure that you support and paint the picture you want to paint. Respect yenye unataka inaanza sahi. It goes into marriage. So when you start take her to our home and meet na manko na manini venye na represent the support I give her, even in business, even in job. Kama sasa hivi unaangalia ni supporting sana business. Tunaenda shoot.
Ndio ameniambia na kupeleka.
Naendaga.
Kazi yake tu kupack my life.
Make sure tu nirudisho lakini I don't know.
Yeah, she supports me and it take one side. Mpaka time tulikuwa na watu tunaleta. That support system inafanyanga ni watu kwa so bonded. Hata mishahara ya mama fulani, ndio mama fulani alete.
Haizi pita. Yaani kuna haizi pita kuna place anajua and you atakuwa anataka kusema anything about you. Anakumbuka this Jonathan. Haizi sema anything because anajua Jonathan naye atawaka juu ama atado something. Yaani anytime I see him, anytime you should see him, you should see me. Anytime you see me, you should see him. That means there's no
hakuna space hapo katikati.
Be a one plus one like this, be like this. Hiyo ndio inaweza kusaidia. Lazima hata kama ni ana cleaning toilet.
Support.
Wacha kufika nyumbani father anasema sasa ndio nataka. Si job yake inafanya the way umempresent.
Your presentation makes sense.
Wow. So now you've been married for how long? 3 months. Is marriage what you expected?
Marriage? Hey,